Welcome to the revision session of BIT degree program, which is conducted by University of Colombo School of Computing. And today we are going to have our revision on Introductory Mathematics, which is EN1201. So before moving to the revision, I would like to remind you that today our revision is based on these chapters. Fundamentals of Measurements, which is chapter number 4. So under this chapter, we are going to have the subtopics like measurements of length, mass, capacity, area and volume, perimeter, area and volume of basic geometrical shapes, Pythagoras theorem, introduction to trigonometry. So next, the fifth chapter, ratios and proportions. Subtopics include ratios and proportions. So we will move on to the paper. So this is the multiple choice question paper that we are going to discuss. So in this paper, remember that the questions can have more than one answer. So be careful when you are marking your answers. So let's move on to the questions. First, we will come to the question number 23. So in this question, they are asking the base of the isosceles triangle is 4 cm longer than its altitude. If the base is the longest side of the triangle and the area of the triangle is 48 square centimeters, what is the perimeter of the triangle? So in this type of questions, you should have to have an idea of what is this isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle is a triangle with equal two sides. Two sides are equal. So what they are telling is the base is the longest side and it is longer than the altitude. So if we take the altitude, the elevation of the altitude is h, then the base will be h plus 4. We will move on to the steps. So here you can see we let the elevation as h, and then the length of the base will become h plus 4 because they have said that base is 4 units greater than the altitude. So since they are given the area of the triangle, you should find the area. So how to find the area? It is half times length of the base multiplied by length of the altitude. So here we have done this, that is half divided by half multiplied by h multiplied by h plus 4, which is equal to 48. So by solving this equation, we will come across a quadratic equation like x squared plus 4h minus 96 equals 0. So here we have to do the factorization in order to find the h. So h minus 8 and h plus 12 is equal to 0. So h minus 8 is equal to 0 and h plus 12 is equal to 0. Since the altitude is positive, so we are selecting that h is equal to 8 centimeters. So what will be the base length then? Since they are telling that base length is 4 units longer than the altitude, so the base length should be 8 plus 4, which is 12 centimeters. So now we need to find the length of isosceles. How we are going to find the length of isosceles? So here we have to use the Pythagoras theorem. So now we know that base is 12 centimeters long and the altitude is 8 centimeters long. So if we take the half of the base, it will be 6 centimeters long. So if we take a right angle triangle, so base is 6 and the altitude is 8. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we can come across that the length of the isosceles is equal to 10 centimeters. So what the question asks is to find the perimeter. So normally the perimeter means the addition of almost all the length of the sides. So perimeter of the triangle is 2 isosceles plus the base. So that is 10 plus 12, which is equal to 32, right? So next we have come across question number 24, which is asking about which of the following is equal to 180 kilometer per hour, right? So here we need to convert the units, right? Here kilometer per hour is given and we have to convert it to the meters per seconds, right? So in this calculation, what are the things that we need to know? So first you have to convert kilometers to meters, then hours to second. So you know that 1000 meters are equal to 1 kilometer. So in order to convert 180 kilometers to meters, you have to multiply it by 1000. Since also you know that 3600 seconds are equal to 1 hour, so you have to divide the sum by 3600, which will give the answer as 50 meters per seconds. So this is our answer. Question number 25. So what is asking, a circle of radius r divided by 2 centimeter is cut out from a circle of radius 2r centimeter. So what is the ratio of the area of the circle that is cut out to area of the remaining portion? So basically this is an essay type question, and what they are asking is, they have already a big circle and they are cutting out a small circle out of that big circle. Then they are asking about the ratio of the remaining portion at the already cut portion, right? We will move on to the solution. So area of the cutout circle will be like this. So in order to find this, you should know how to find the area of the circle. It is 5 multiplied by r square. So here our r is equal to r divided by 2. We have to substitute r divided by 2 instead in place of r. So now the area of the cutout circle will equal to 5 times r divided by 2 to the power 2. Okay, so next we have to find out the area of the full circle. So we are given radius of the full circle, which is 2r. So what we have to do is we have to substitute 2r instead of r. So the area of the full circle given as this. Next, since we are asking about the remaining portion, area of the left portion will be, so now before that we have already calculated full circle area and the cutout circle area. So in order to find the area of left portion, we can subtract cutout circle from this full circle. So this is how we did it. Now we have already obtained the area of the left portion also. We have the area of cutout circle as well as the area of the left portion. So here what is left is to get the ratio of these two, cutout circle and the left portion, which will be equal to 1 to 15. So our answer will equal to D. So next question is question number 26. They are asking about the solid metal cylinder of radius r centimeter and height 2r centimeter is melted and solid metal spheres of radius r divided by 2 centimeters are formed. If there are no wastage, how many such spheres can be formed? So if you look at this question, what you should know? You should know how to find the volume of the cylinder as well as how to find the volume of the sphere. So let's move on. So how to find the volume of the cylinder? This is the common way to find the volume of the cylinder, which is 5 multiplied by r squared multiplied by h. So we have to substitute the given values for radius and the height. For radius we have to substitute r, for the height we have to substitute 2r. So finally we will obtain the answer as 2 pi r cube as the volume of the cylinder. Next we are going to find the volume of the sphere. In order to find the volume of the sphere, we use equation as volume of the sphere equals 4 over 3 times 5 multiplied by r to the power 3. So here also, since the radius of the sphere is given as r divided by 2, we substitute that. Finally we come across the volume of the sphere. So how can we find the number of such spheres that can be constructed from the metal cylinder? So in order to do that, we divide the volume of the cylinder by the volume of the spheres. Finally we end up the answer as 12. So our answer will be B, which is 12. So in this type of questions, what you should have to have in your mind is how to find the volume of cylinder and the sphere. Next is a trigonometry question. It's question number 27. In question number 27, they are given alpha equals 60 degree, then which of the following has the greatest value? So the answers contain sin alpha, cos alpha, tan alpha, cosec alpha and sec alpha. So normally if you know the sin alpha and the cos alpha, then you can find the rest of, that means tan alpha, cosec alpha and the sec alpha. So here is the table. Sin 60 degree, so here they are given the values. If you know the sin and the cos, by dividing sin by cos you can find the tan, and again 1 over sin is cosec and 1 over cos is sec. You can find the values. If you look at the table, you can see that the sec has the highest value, so our answer will be the sec alpha, that means final answer, answer E. So in this type of trigonometric questions, it's useful to have the memorization of these values, even the sin values and the cos values. Question number 28. So in question number 28, they are asking about let A equals this one. So then which of the following is true? So they are given the expression, then we have to solve this and find out the answer. Again, this is very easy if you know the values of these terms, right? You can directly substitute the values in correct places and you can find the answer. So this is the answer, and here what they are doing is they are not directly asking about the answer, they are just giving the range. So you have to find out the range which best fit to your answer, whatever you have calculated already. So the correct range which lies minus 1.29903 is D. So this is question number 29. This is some type of essay type question. So here what they are asking is, if the angle of the elevation to the top of the building from a point of the flat ground which is 30 meters away from the building is 30 degrees, what is the height of the building to the nearest meter? So here in this type of question, it's useful if you can draw the diagram. So if you draw the diagram, from the diagram in the sense you can understand what they are asking. Through the diagram you can easily find the answer rather than reading the essay type question again and again. By reading, with the reading you can draw the diagram. So here this is the diagram that we have drawn. So here they said that angle of the elevation to the top of the building from the point on the flat ground which is 30 meters away from the building is 30 degrees. So this is that, and they are asking about the height of the building. So here what we can find is we can get the 30 degree. So here easily we will come across the answer at 17. So our answer will be B, which is 17. Next, move on to the next question, which is question number 30. In this question, 5 people working in 8 hours a day and can cut a drain in 6 days. How many days will 4 people working in 6 hours a day require for the same task? So this is man-hour question, right? In this type of questions, you can sequentially come out to the answer. So let's move on to the answer. The answer is C10, and we'll see how we can obtain that answer. So here, total number of hours worked. So if you are given the number of days and the hours, number of hours for each day, we can calculate the total number of hours worked by multiplying hours by days. So that is 8 multiplied by 6 equal 48. Then total number of man hours. So if we are given the number of employees and also the hours, we can find the man hours. Since we have calculated number of hours from the first part, we can substitute whatever we have found there to here. So total number of man hours is equal to 5 multiplied by 48, which is 240. Here what they are asking is, if the 4 people working in 6 hours a day for the same task, how many days they require if 4 people are working? So here now we have total number of man hours and 4 people are working, so total number of hours will be equal to 240 divided by 4, which is 60. then total number of hours equals days multiplied by hours. So the days equals, then we can divide total number of hours by hours, then you can end up with 10 days. Now the question number 31. In question number 31, they are asking, in a 200-meter race, Amal beats Kamal by 10 meter. If Amal's average speed was 9 meters per second, what was Kamal's average speed? So we'll move on to the steps of our solution. So first, the average time taken by Amal. So normally in this type of questions, what we are using is distance equals the velocity multiplied by the time taken to finish the task. S equals U multiplied by T. So here what we need to find is the average time taken by the Amal. Since the distance that Amal have traveled is given and also his speed is given, so we are left with the T and we can find the T. So the T will equal to 200 divided by 9. So 200 divided by 9 seconds. So if we consider about the Kamal's case, there also the Kamal take the same time as the Amal, but the thing is Kamal is far behind than the Amal. So if Kamal's average speed is V, now we have already know the time since both of Amal and Kamal have spent the same time, and also we know the distance because in the question they say that in a 200-meter race Amal beats Kamal by 10 meter. That means when Amal is at the 200-meter line, Kamal is at 119 place. So we know the distance, also the time, then we can find out the average speed of the Kamal, which is equal to 8.55 meters per second. So our answer will be C. So next move on to the next question, which is question number 32. In question number 32, what they are asking is the magnitude of the interior angles of quadrilateral are into the ratios of 2 to the point 3 to the point 3 to the point 4. Which of the following cannot be a magnitude of the interior angle of this quadrilateral? Again, this is a tricky question. So that means they are asking about the magnitude that cannot be the interior angle of this quadrilateral. They are asking not the correct answer, but they are asking the incorrect answer. So in this type of situation, normally the question paper they bold the word cannot. So but for your reference, I am telling that it's good to circle out the word cannot, then you can easily track the word cannot and you will never forget that you have to mark the incorrect options, not the correct options. So we'll move on to the steps. These are the correct answers. Now we will see how we can find the answers. So these are the squares that are coming under that category. So that means four-sided squares. They can be any shape but four-sided. So the thing that we have to have in our mind is what is the collection, the sum of the interior angles of a square, that is 360. So they are given the ratios of the angles. So by using the ratios, we can construct our equation as 2x plus 3x plus 3x plus 4x equals 360 degree. Then we can solve and find the x. So here, since they are given the ratios, we have to find almost all the angles. Now already find out the x. Next 2x is 60 degree, 3x is 90 degree, 4x is 120 degree. So since they are asking about the incorrect answer, we have to select the answers which are not matched with these 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree, 120. So left with 45 and 150 degrees. So we have come to the last part of this section. That means we have covered the revision session of chapter 4 and 5. Let's move on with the next video to continue with the revision. Thank you.